What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Layer Game episode 150. This is the average man's perspective on football. I'm your co-host Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey.
Next up is the man that covers his mouth when he cough. Brian, say what up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. And last but never least, we got Mark in the house. Say what up, Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
Say what up, Mark.
I was about to say, I ain't go bad like that.
That's why, see, your intro is about to work, but it's not working no more because it took so long. So we are back after a 2-week hiatus because one of them Cowboy fans didn't want to be on the show for 2 weeks after he got that ass kicked in the wild card round, but we're not going to talk about that. He didn't want to do the show. But so we are at the conference championships. Well, no, actually, past conference championships. They got played this past weekend. We know what the Super Bowl going to look like. So that's what's up. Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Leg Game. We're on Twitter/X at The Leg Game 3 and on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. Brian is hosting tonight. Go ahead and start us off, Brian.
All right, thanks everybody again for joining us. This show should be pretty quick. We won't have a whole lot to talk about, so we'll just get.
These long-winded dudes.
we
It's gonna be a 3-hour show tonight.
Nah, we should make our hour without any trouble. We'll start off with the news of the week, and the first news story goes to Marcus.
Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker dismissed the pregame scuttlebutt with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce ahead of the AFC Championship games. Mahomes, however, has a different view of how events unfolded. The star quarterback said Tuesday on 610 Sports Radio in Kansas City that the Ravens kicker was trying to get under our skin. I've had 7 years of doing that same warm-up routine. There's only been like 3 occasions where there's been a kicker that wasn't moving out of the way, Mahomes said via ESPN. It was in Baltimore all 3 times. The hubbub started well before the contest started when all 3 players were warming up, Tucker on the Chiefs side of the field. The KC players were then seen booting the kicker's equipment out of the way. Tucker said on Monday that it's just part of his pregame routine, suggesting he meant no harm, calling it kind of silly. Mahomes clearly didn't believe that excuse. He does that to get under our skin, Mahomes said of Tucker. I asked him to move his stuff, and he got up and moved it, I think, like 2 inches, but didn't move it out of the way. I was going to let it slide, but Travis moved it for me, and after that, I was going to let him put it back. I wasn't going to let him put it back down. I have a lot of respect for him as a player and as a kicker. He's one of the best kickers of all time, probably the best kicker of all time. At the same time, you got to have respect for each team. We all share the field, and we try to do that in a respectful way.
I thought it was hilarious. I died laughing seeing it pregame.
It was pretty funny.
Kelce is a monster. That dude just threw that dude stuff all over the place and kept it moving like it wasn't no big deal.
Hey, man, Kansas City are quietly bullies, okay? They quiet bullies.
You know, it's weird because the kicker, he says he does that everywhere at all stadiums and stuff. They showed video of him doing it at other places. So I don't know. And I mean, it just started there. There was a lot of pre-game fighting going on in that game and stuff. So tensions were flaring when the game first started.
I mean, we've been to games before. You see big players warm up on both sides of the field, but they do usually move when the other team comes out. They usually go off of their side. So
yeah. All right, the next story is Herman's.
All right. A couple of days after the Detroit Lions lost in the NFC Championship game, a key member of the team's coaching staff has decided to stay put. Ben Johnson is opting to remain with the Lions as their offensive coordinator rather than pursue the head coaching vacancies with the Washington Commanders and the Seattle Seahawks. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Sources also said that teams had balked at Johnson's asking price to be a head coach.
Oh,
See,
I mean that put a wrench in the Commanders coaching search. I guess Bill Belichick will be the next head coach of the Washington Commanders. Hey, Marcus,
No,
what do you mean?
we good. We don't want him over here.
Oh, okay. Who do you want
You
then?
don't want him now.
Unless he bring Tom Brady with him, we good.
What if he brings your favorite offensive coordinator with him?
Cool.
Mike McDaniel, baby.
Okay.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about? Oh hell no, that's definitely no.
He had a delay reaction on that one.
I guess he didn't know who he was when Herbert said his name.
I forgot, but unless he brings Brady with him, then it's a no.
You know, that's
I've
gonna be
heard-
interesting.
I've heard Brady is already signed to be on Fox next year.
Yeah,
So
he did
went-
that before he retired.
But he canceled that though. I thought they said. I thought he had backed out of that.
No, they gave him what 200 or 300 some million.
300 something million. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought they said that he had like after he did the next year of football. I thought he backed out of it because he was like he really didn't spend time with his kids or something. So I thought
No, he just took off this year just to learn the game and become a better announcer.
Announcer.
So,
Fox needs
Whatever.
number one team because they ain't got one.
I don't mind who they got number one now. I mean, they're no Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, but they're not bad.
They're not a number one team. Especially Greg Olson, he's gone.
I mean, everybody keeps bragging about what a great job Greg Olson does, but
He's trash.
I like what he does. I like Greg Olson.
Yeah,
Trash.
he going to the second team. You'll still see him. Oh, we lost Marcus. Oh, he's
Hey, lose me. I'm still here.
you were gone for a minute.
I'm back.
You were twirling. All right, the next story I'll take over. For the second straight year, Brock Purdy has led the San Francisco 49ers to the NFC Championship game. But if Kyle Shanahan had gotten his way during the offseason, Purdy would not have been the team's starting quarterback this season. According to ESPN.com, Shanahan was actually hoping to have Tom Brady as a quarterback during the 2023 season, but it seemed that the seven-time Pro Bowl champion turned him down. The 49ers 2022 season ended up with a loss to the Eagles in an NFC title game, and at some point after that loss, Shanahan told Purdy that he would be the team starter in 2023 unless the 49ers could convince Tom Brady to come out of retirement. I remember him saying, "If we can get Tom Brady, we're going to try to get him," Purdy said in a conversation he had with Shanahan. And I was like, yeah, he's the GOAT. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't?
They would have
Man, whatever, man. If you're a competitor, you don't care who is coming in. Nobody coming in and taking your job.
Man, Brock Purdy is glad to even have a job.
I know ain't still talking trash about Brock Purdy.
No. What I'm saying is,
Did you not see him throw these two playoff games away?
He does not have that starter confidence like that. He doesn't have that starter I'm the man type confidence. He knows he ain't doing nothing. He knows it's the team. It's not humble. He knows he's
trying to
trash.
get Tom Brady in there. You're gonna jump at that opportunity.
I'm not saying that the coach was wrong for doing that. I'm saying Purdy being like, "Oh yeah, coach, that's a great idea. Let's do that."
Because he don't have no confidence.
I mean, Mark,
Right.
Basically, it's your coach already telling you, I'm looking for your replacement.
Tom Brady gonna be no. You know he's coming in for 1 year. He wasn't gonna be no replacement.
It can't be Cowboy hate. It's 49er hate, and you're correct.
Whatever. So, Mark, these are the same two dudes that was so gung ho on Trey Lance.
No, we weren't.
Y'all were in love with Trey Lance.
No, we were not. No, we were not.
Y'all were in love.
You said that he wasn't given a chance. You telling me you don't think that Trey Lance could have did what Purdy did?
Mark, were they not in love with Trey Lance, Mark?
Y'all wasn't in love with Trey Lance.
Thank you, Mark.
You said we were. We were not.
You were not.
Okay.
Thank you.
They were in love with Trey Lance.
Of course.
That's some commander.
That's why you're on your team now, because you love him so much.
Just like you in love with Heineke.
Yeah, or whatever that other one's name is.
Yeah. Heineke Part 2. All right, Mark, little story you got for us.
All right. Pittsburgh Steelers is hiring ex-Falcons head coach Arthur Smith as the new offensive coordinator. Smith, who was fired after 3 seasons with the Atlanta Falcons head coach, the 41-year-old Smith will become the 5th full-time offensive coordinator of the Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin's tenure, which began in 2007. Of the previous 4, 3 were in-house selection that included the last, Matt Canada, who was dismissed during the 2023 campaign.
Whatever happened to that dude that used to be OC, coach Arizona to Super Bowl? What was his name?
Ken Wisenhunt. Wisenhunt.
Whatever happened to him? I should bring him back.
He's out, man. You know how old that long ago that was?
The game just went by.
Yeah, he never came back in there.
I'm just curious why they picked Arthur Smith, because he obviously doesn't want to run the ball.
He worked with a lot of a couple of Steelers assistants at one time down in Tennessee, and they basically vouched for him. But think about it, when he was there, he kind of turned Tannehill career around. He became they had the number 2 offense. Remember, they made it to the AFC Championship.
Yeah, I got all that, but Pittsburgh is a run first offense.
He is a run first coach.
He just drafted the best running back in the league and never used him.
Atlanta was a whole different situation.
He was in
Derrick Henry, and he ran Derrick Henry, right?
Thank you.
He ran Derrick Henry in Tennessee, so you can't. Yeah, so you can't look at.
He had the best running back. He had the best rookie running back in the league, and he didn't run him none.
What's his name? Bijan Robinson.
Yes.
I guess we're gonna find out if he really is, because whoever's replacing him, we're gonna see if they use him. Because if they don't use him, then it's gonna be telling.
They better get another quarterback in there. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, but that's what Pittsburgh needs too. They're gonna need another quarterback.
That's what I mean.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
What is that for?
Get this dude, Herman.
All
right, let's get into some hot topics. Since we don't got a whole lot to talk about, we're going to do 3 hot topics today. First hot topic is, did Dan Campbell's coaching decision cost the Detroit Lions a chance at their first Super Bowl appearance? Now, as you know, Campbell went for it twice in that game on 4th down, and also chose not to take the 3 points at one point, which probably would have put him up enough to win that game. So do you guys think that Campbell made mistakes in the game, going for it all the time and being too aggressive? Marcus, you a knee biter. What do you think?
You know what? I don't make your attitude. Okay? Disrespectful. I say, yes, Dan Campbell's decisions did cost him the game. But so what? You play to win the game. Okay? That's what Dan Campbell does. Okay? He goes for it on 4th down on anybody, even more than that Bama we hated in Detroit, in Los Angeles. Staley or whatever his stupid name was. But listen, I don't care. Dan Campbell he made the Detroit Lions respectable again. They've been a joke for so long. He got them to the NFC Championship game. And to me, right now, that's all that counts. He'll learn. He'll do better. But he gambled. He gambled and he lost. But had he gambled and won, we'd be talking about something different today. We're talking about something different. So I don't hold his decisions against him. He did what he did. In hindsight, wasn't so great. But like I said, had it turned out different, we'd have been talking a different story today. If I was a Lions fan, I wouldn't be that upset. You got in the third year, he got them to the NFC Championship game. They're a respectable team again. Their offensive coordinator's coming back. Looks like the whole coaching staff is coming back. They should be able to at least get a repeat of what they had this year, next year, and just learn. But did it cost them? Yes, it did. But hey, it is what it is. I don't fault Dan Campbell for those decisions.
Mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree that it did cost them a chance to the Super Bowl. At some point, you become too predictable. I mean, you've been known to gamble quite a bit during the regular season, and it hasn't. At times it worked, at times it didn't work. At crucial times, in the playoffs, you have to play a little bit more. Not some more helter skelter, or you got to you got to play a little bit smart with it. I think on one of those gambles was towards the end of the game with the 49ers that he had to call a timeout because they ran the ball on it and they didn't get it, and it kind of cost them a timeout that they could have used later on to possibly, because I think they got the 49ers 3 possessions and out, so they had time to call timeout, but they didn't because they used it on that 4th down call.
But see, hold on, Mark. But do we put that decision on Campbell or we put that on Ben Johnson?
Campbell.
It's on Campbell. He's the coach.
Always on Campbell.
It's on Campbell.
But Ben Johnson calling the plays.
Yeah, but technically, Dan Campbell truly it would be an offensive coach because he was a tight end. So, and
but ultimately, it's his decision to go for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yes, he gets blamed for it. And granted, they were on the doorstep of making it there, which was great for the Detroit team and the city. But that's fantastic. But you're gonna have to dial that down some, man. You're gonna have to, kick the field goal and keep scoring some points. So you won't be making these foolish mistakes. But yeah, it definitely cost them the chance to go to the Super Bowl for the first time. So yeah, I would agree it would. Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one, Mark. I think it definitely cost them a chance. I'm concerned and curious why in the first quarter there was a 4th down option he had, and he chose to kick a field goal.
Right before the
half, he chose to kick a field goal and get those 3 points. So it bothers me that at the end, when he had a chance to get another 3 points and make the Niners have to score 3 times, to get the lead. It was just mind-boggling to me. I understand you're aggressive, and in hindsight, his plays were good. The plays they picked would have worked had the receivers catch the ball, but the receiver didn't catch the ball, and then now you're sitting at home wondering why. Not really wondering why because you know why, but wishing you may possibly made a different decision. So. I know as a Cowboys fan, had Mike McCarthy did that same thing. Oh,
y'all been roasting him.
Yeah, he would be on the.
He wouldn't be able to be in Texas.
I don't think he would have left the field. I don't think he would have left the field. I think he would have had to live, in San Francisco. So yeah, he definitely cost him a chance at and they had that game. That was their game. I actually had fell asleep for a little bit and then woke up. I'm like, how the hell did the Niners come back? I had to watch that game over again. So it definitely cost him. So
well,
let's learn.
I think we need more talk about more than Dan Campbell's decision. And what we've all known about Detroit all season is their suspect defense. They never should allow San Francisco to come back. If anything they need to work on for next season is that suspect defense.
But if you know your defense is a little suspect, get more points on the board.
That's true.
And that exactly.
Go ahead, Herman.
And speaking to that, when he had a chance to make it a 3-score game, he went for it on 4th down instead of taking that field goal. All we talk about the playoffs is how big it is in the playoffs, how important things are in the playoffs. Coaching decisions are one of the biggest things when it comes to the playoffs. And Dan Campbell, while his gambles got him there, I've said it 1,000 times, there is a thin line between being aggressive and being stupid. When he had a chance to go up by 3 scores, you have to go the safe route, if you even want to call it that. It's more like the logical, in my opinion, and kick a field goal and go up by 3 points. Dan Campbell was being stupid. Okay, had he gone up by those 3 points at that 3-score time, maybe the other times he went for it wouldn't have been as magnified. Okay. Again, like you just said, his defense was so suspect all year long. You have to put points on the board, whether it's 3, whether it's 7. but you gotta know the line to gamble with that. And Marcus, you said, you don't want to hold it against them. There is no guarantee that Detroit will be back even in the playoffs next year. You know,
I agree. I agree.
It's been 50 some years that they've never been to a Super Bowl. 50 years.
I agree.
Now, granted, they look good now, but when you get that close, man, you just got to be smarter. And like you said, don't be so predictable to do the things that you always do. I'm gonna be aggressive. Take the points. Throw them off every now and then.
That's what I say about being predictable.
Yeah, these decisions that he made, it cost the team, and I hope that they're going to be good. I guess I don't really care, but the thing is now they're not going to be playing from a last place team schedule. Guess what? They're division winners now. Guess what? They have harder schedules now, so it's more of an uphill battle.
The greatest thing about sports is you play to win the game.
No,
That's what he was doing. That's what Dan. He was playing to win the
He
game.
wasn't playing to win the game because he's playing to win the game, but he kicked the field goal.
right,
Herm Edwards would have kicked the field goal
and win the game.
Herm Edwards would have kicked the field goal. I guarantee it.
He bypassed 3 field goals, right? Correct.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
He bypassed 3 field goals, and they lost by 3 points.
3 points.
So he only had to kick 2 field goals. He could have went for it one time. Come on, man. Or even could have went for it twice and got 1 field goal. At least they would have had a chance to be tied. But yeah, he cost them the game, man. I'm sorry.
I feel y'all, but I just feel like you can't. He took Detroit somewhere they've never been. They've been a joke for so long. He brought hope to the city.
And then he killed it in 3 decisions.
It's hard for me to criticize the guy.
He killed in 3 decisions.
I'm just saying it just seemed more logical and more just the smarter decision,
He
especially
does-
at that point in the game. You had the Niners, you had them. Just keep
Yeah.
stacking points. Any chance you get them points.
Because it just kept them. It would make them press. It would make
Yes.
the 49ers press more.
Changing the way they run their offense. They have to start throwing a lot more.
Exactly.
And Purdy wasn't perfect that game either.
Exactly. It's not like we're
You
talking
keep
about
them-
they had Tom Brady back there. You keep them in a situation where they have to keep throwing. Purdy was going to make a mistake.
Yeah, there were 2
You
drops
keep them
by that
chasing
defense.
points. You keep them chasing points.
Exactly. You keep them chasing points.
So just say we right, Marcus.
No,
We'll go on to the next subject. So you say
I'm
we
not-
right.
I'm not criticizing Dan. Okay? I refuse.
All right, so most of us are right, and then there's Marcus.
Yeah.
All right, next hot topic. Should Lamar Jackson really be considered a great quarterback with a 2-4 playoff record? So as you guys know, Lamar's first playoff game was horrible. He came back, won a game, then lost a game again. And similar scenario this year, won a game, lost a game. So he's up for MVP right now. He had a great season, but is the regular season mean that you're a great quarterback, or is it what you do in the playoffs? Let's start this one off with the AFC East fan.
North. AFC North fan.
Sorry.
North.
What do you think, Mark?
If you look at Lamar doing the regular season, he's great. He is fantastic. Going on his second MVP possible winning award, yes. In the playoffs, not so much. How do you? And me being the AFC North fan, I was actually rooting for Lamar to go. I wanted to, for all the naysayers that said that this style quarterback couldn't get a championship, couldn't win the Super Bowl, I really wanted Lamar to get it. I wanted him to do it. But his playoffs is what, and championship is what he's going to really be measured off of. Right now, he's not, I guess, considered a great all in all. But regular season, he's fantastic. He's great during regular season. Just not in the playoffs at all. Looking at his stats in the playoffs, he had 2018, 14 for 29 attempts, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. 2019, 31 attempts, 59 completions, 365 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. 2020, it was 31 for 48, 341 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And then this year, 26 for 59, 424 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception through the postseason. That's just not going to cut it as far as being greatness. Regular season, yes. Postseason, no.
Yeah, it's kind of. It just didn't seem like Lamar had any help from the rest of that offense, especially like his wide receivers. All he really had was Zay Jones. It felt
Zay
like
Flowers.
in that game, and Zay Flowers, and then of course, he let him down. Huh?
His old line protected him.
It was, but
like
it didn't seem like his receivers. I mean, how many? Well, we'll get into it. I mean, I only remember him calling Likely's name a couple times. The other tight end that came back from injury,
Andrews.
I only heard him calling like maybe once or twice. Yeah. And then you didn't hear Odell's name. I think he caught like 1 ball, but we'll get into the stats later. So it just, although it is Lamar, and I know that the quarterback gets the blame. On this one, it just felt like to me his offense let him down. But no, he has to do more in the playoffs to be considered a great quarterback. John Elway, Peyton Manning, all of them, they were good in the regular season, but until they broke through and got those Super Bowl wins, they weren't going to be in the Hall of Fame. So
You a lot.
Martin, what?
John Elway wasn't gonna be in the Hall of Fame. Hadn't they won Super Bowl? Come on.
Not without getting no Super Bowl wins.
Peyton Manning wasn't gonna be in the Hall of Fame without winning the Super Bowl.
Not without getting no Super Bowl wins. Nope.
I don't believe that for me. I don't believe that for me. I don't believe that for me.
If you do a great in the Super,
John Elway wasn't gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
I think
good in the
Peyton would have
playoffs.
made it.
How do you
Peyton
think
would've
that
been
makes
in
you? Who?
Peyton.
No.
Yeah,
Peyton.
they compared him to like Dan Marino type and Dan's in. So I think
Dan got to the Super Bowl. He didn't win
He
it,
didn't
but
win
he
it.
got.
He only got to it once.
he didn't win
But
it.
he got
Oh,
there.
so you said if they had never got to a Super Bowl?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, John Elway had been in like the 3 Super Bowls before he won the last.
Yeah, John
No,
Elway
but
did.
you got to
But he
get
said
there.
not
and
gotten
win.
to. Dan Fouts is in there.
Yeah, but that was before. That was way back. Well, okay, yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give you that. But I don't know how his playoff record was, Dan Fouts.
Well, not that great. He didn't make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So Lamar has a little more work to do, in my opinion. Herman, what do you think?
All right, so I'm gonna start
Nice
off
cup,
first.
Herman. Nice
He
cup.
gonna be. We got a hater coming right now.
No, I'm gonna start off first by saying y'all know that I don't hate on Lamar. I like Lamar Jackson. Okay, so I'm gonna say he's not a great quarterback, and part of my reasoning behind that is because we are two quick, stable quarterbacks and players. Great. Okay, he's elite. He is a definite game changer. Any other adjective you want to throw at him, but he's not great. Josh Allen is not great. Okay. Patrick Mahomes is great. We talked about the Kansas City Chiefs all year. None of us thought they was going to get to the Super Bowl playing the way they was playing.
We didn't think he was making it to the
And
playoffs.
they didn't get the Super Bowl playing the way he was playing. They didn't get the Super Bowl.
Right. Who elevated their game when they got into the playoff?
Kansas City defense.
The receivers.
Kansas City defense.
The receivers. Mahomes
Kansas City
had never played on the road in the playoffs. He'd never played on the road in the playoffs. This dude went and won 3 road games.
2 road games.
Buffalo.
Buffalo
Yeah,
and
no.
Buffalo.
No,
they played Miami at home.
No. They
They played
did play
Miami.
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 You're right.
I'm sorry, yeah.
You're right.
So So 2 road games. He had never went on the road. Okay. Patrick Mahomes, this is the 4th NFC championship in the last 6 games for this guy. That is great. We can't say you're great when you are during the regular season and then you don't show up for the playoffs. If Lamar is great, then guess who else is great? Dak Prescott's great. Because they got basically the same playoff record. It doesn't matter which game you lose in the playoffs, it's a playoff loss. So if Lamar's great, Dak is great. And Josh is great. So are we really putting Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson?
And hey, look, you might as well add what's the name for the Lions?
Stafford.
No.
Goff.
Goff.
I mean Goff. I'm sorry.
Goff. He's
Goff.
great.
He lost it. He's been to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, so he's great.
Right? So we're not putting them in the same category as Patrick Mahomes. It's time to stop labeling these players great when they haven't done anything yet. Like I said, Lamar is elite. I will definitely say that. And he's a game changer. He's good. I like Lamar, but he's just not great. He's not. Until he does better in the playoffs, he can't have it. This MVP that he's going to win this year is very questionable. It's very questionable because there are other quarterbacks who had just as good stats, if not better, in more categories. Then you just throw in one category that Lamar is good in, and that's rushing. As for his team, as for the playoff game itself, I kind of disagree with Brian saying that the offense didn't help.
We're gonna talk about that when we talk about the game.
Well, I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna throw stats. He had so much time in pocket, like it was crazy. It was crazy. The receivers weren't getting open because he had way a lot of time sitting in the pocket. But that's where you're Lamar. That's where his running is supposed to come in, And he didn't do that. And I get you, Brian, where you're saying you got to have help from the offense and the rest of the team. But a lot of times when I look at a quarterback, if he's getting sacked a lot, then it's a problem. And he was sacked 4 times, but a lot of that was like after 10 minutes in the pocket. So just in my opinion, he's not great, but I'm not taking away from how good he truly is. But we need to stop labeling all these players as great until they do something. Like you shouldn't even great label if you haven't been to a Super Bowl, let alone won one.
All right, Marcus, what you think?
Okay, first of all, let's get back. But the Kansas City Chiefs defense won that game, not Patrick Mahomes. He did his part, but they didn't even score in the whole second half of that game. So that was
neither did the Ravens.
Okay, but that was the Kansas City defense. Not taking away from Mahomes, but that was Kansas City defense. Number one, and I said this in the group chat. We're not saying Lamar Jackson is great because he's playing in the era of Patrick Mahomes. It's just like all those great basketball players that played in the era of Jordan. Karl Malone, Reggie Miller, Patrick Ewing.
They're still known as great. What do you mean?
Yeah, but they didn't win any championships. Karl Malone didn't win a championship because Michael Jordan was in the way. So So Mahomes is on a whole different level. We got to put him up. We got to separate him from everybody else. He's on a whole different level. So we can't compare him to Mahomes. He's the Jordan of the NFL in this era right now. So he overshadows everyone else. Now, as far as Lamar, he's definitely great. He had a unanimous MVP back in 2019. I don't know if it'll be a unanimous this year, but he's probably gonna get this year's MVP. And we'll talk about it more when we talk about the game. But he didn't have any help from his OC in that game. And we'd like to talk about more of the game, but the Kansas City the OC and the team and the offense and the whole team, they basically got bullied by KC and the specter and the shadow of Mahomes. I'll talk about more of that when we get to the game. But let's look at. So we say he's not great. I'm gonna give you a list of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL, and you tell me which one you would take over. You take them or Lamar? Josh Allen or Lamar?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen,
Joe Burrow or Lamar?
Joe
Joe
Burrow,
Burrow.
Deshaun Watson or Lamar?
Lamar.
Lamar.
Jarrett Stidham or Lamar?
Who?
Lamar. You
CJ
just
Stroud or
said that.
Lamar?
Who?
Who?
CJ Stroud or Lamar?
Whew, that's not fair though, because CJ Stroud was a rookie this year.
So
But
which
if
one
you,
you
if you
take?
want, if you
So
want,
he
to
And
look at
didn't
his,
time
actually,
in
to be
yet.
honest with you,
if you want to look at his
I might
upside,
take
I'm gonna
CJ
take Stroud. Yeah,
Yeah, he ain't put enough time in.
right.
But I'm with
He
you,
doesn't have enough
Herman.
time yet.
If you talking the upswing, I'm taking
I'm taking
CJ.
Stroud,
Okay, Anthony Richardson or Lamar?
Lamar.
Same
Lamar,
thing.
because we didn't have enough time. Yeah, you haven't get to see enough of it.
Trevor Lawrence or Lamar?
Lamar.
Lamar,
Okay, we know about Mahomes. Aiden O'Connell or Lamar?
Lamar.
Herbert or Lamar?
That's,
Herb.
I have to
I
see
think I'll take
Herbert with a
I'm gonna take
real
Herbert.
offensive
Yeah.
coordinator. I think I'm taking Herbert.
Yeah, I think I'm taking Herbert.
Tua or Lamar?
Lamar.
I really got to think
Yeah.
about it.
Tua so injury
It's a
prone.
coin toss. Yeah, I'll take Lamar.
And Lamar got a better arm.
Bailey Zappi or Lamar?
Lamar.
Lamar.
Stop
Come
it.
on.
Aaron Rodgers or Lamar?
Aaron Rodgers.
Now,
Yeah, I think I'll take Aaron Rodgers over
2024, yes. Kenny Pickett over Lamar or Lamar?
Lamar.
Will Levis or Lamar?
Lamar.
Desmond Ritter or Lamar?
Lamar.
Kyler Murray or Lamar?
Lamar.
Bryce
About
Young or Lamar?
Lamar's better. Who?
Bryce Young or Lamar?
Lamar.
Justin Fields or Lamar? Prescott or Lamar?
Prescott.
Lamar.
Jordan Love or Lamar?
Ooh, Jordan Love. I'm taking Love.
Yeah, Love and Fields are questionable. They have big potential, and
They do.
they seem to have bigger arms than Lamar too.
Mhm.
And Jordan Love is becoming very accurate.
He is.
Stafford or Lamar?
Lamar just because of age. Now,
Cousins
Stafford
or-
was younger.
Cousins or Lamar?
Lamar.
Y'all got to think about that. Come on.
Just because, man, Stafford. I mean, because Cousins can't play on Monday night.
Right.
Yeah, Lamar.
Yeah.
Carr or Lamar?
Lamar.
Daniel Jones or Lamar?
Lamar.
Jalen Hurts or Lamar?
Lamar.
Purdy or Lamar?
Lamar.
Geno Smith or Lamar?
Lamar. I mean,
Baker
We're not
Mayfield or
saying
Lamar?
he's not a top 5 quarterback. I don't know what you're good
right.
at.
Well, he's going through the entire
He's still
quarterback,
good, but he's
starting
not.
quarterback list.
So how can he not be great if you'll take almost every quarterback except maybe 3 or
It
4?
wasn't, no.
Didn't
It
take
wasn't
almost
almost every
everyone.
quarterback. Most of the AFC wasn't Lamar.
Right.
Most AFC was. I mean,
No, we not. We
You didn't even name
uh,
Trevor Lawrence.
I
Yeah,
did
he
name
did.
Trevor
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lawrence.
he named Trevor.
Oh, I didn't hear him say Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence, so I'll take Lawrence.
But the fact is, Lamar is a great quarterback. He's just playing in the era
It's
of
not
Patrick
great.
Mahomes.
You need to. That's what I'm saying. So if he's
Dan,
great,
Dan,
what do we
Dan
call
Marino
Patrick
never
Mahomes?
won a Super Bowl. No, Dan Marino never won a
What do
Super Bowl.
we
Dan
call
Marino
Patrick
is a
Mahomes?
totally different animal at that time. Nobody was throwing like he is. Everybody in their
And
grandmother's
nobody
throwing
plays
over the
like
field
Lamar.
like we do now.
And nobody
What do
plays
we
like Lamar.
call? I want you to tell me
What are you
what do we
talking
call
about?
Mahomes?
Josh plays like Lamar. Fields plays like Lamar.
Yeah.
How you got
What
Phil's
do we-
name in the same
What do we call
category as Lamar?
Mahomes?
You
Phil's
said
ain't done nothing. Phil's ain't even
He
made
still
the playoffs.
plays like Lamar.
Phil's ain't he ain't
I
had
just
number
want
one
you to
seed.
tell me what we call Mahomes. If Lamar is great, what do you call Mahomes? Because Michael Jordan was called great. He's the greatest of all time. That's what he's called. in the NBA.
Mahomes is the baby goat right now. He's the baby. He goat
No,
junior.
you need to stop labeling these
He-
players
he-
as great when
he's-
they're not great.
Mahomes is just below Brady and just above Montana. That's a whole different category.
Well, your greatness scored what? 7 points, 10 points.
It happens. And that wasn't that. I don't put all that on him. We'll talk about that in the game when we talk about the game. But that wasn't all on him. But in my opinion, Lamar is definitely great. I would definitely.
Well, I mean, your standards are very low because you think that
I don't think my standards are very low. Lamar is
You
great.
think Hal's
As
great.
a Commanders
I think
fan,
Hal's great. So
right.
I never said how it was great. Okay.
Yes, you did.
You
was all in on Heineke.
I didn't say he was great.
We'll go back and get the tape. You was all in on Heineke.
I didn't say he was great.
You think obviously you thought he was great. You was all in.
I thought he was good enough.
You was voting for Heineke.
That's the same thing. But yes, Lamar is great.
All right. So again, 3 right, 1 wrong. Last hot topic. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes, he's going to his 4th Super Bowl. His current record in the Super Bowl is 2-1. Do you think that he will match or succeed Tom Brady in Super Bowl wins? Herman.
I think that if he wins this one, he will at least match Tom Brady. How old is Patrick Mahomes right now?
I believe he's 28. Let me look up.
Yeah, I think he's 28 too.
Let's just say he plays till he's 35. Let's say he doesn't go to the 40 age.
Yeah, he's 28.
Yeah. I think that if he is...
Oh, God.
What?
Hold on, wait. Brown, your birthday is what? September 17th?
Yeah.
You Patrick
So it's
Mahomes
his, I know.
birthday.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think the key is he has to win this one. If he wins this one, I think he'll match him at least. Match or succeed him, I think. To be 3-1, win Super Bowls at the age of 28, yeah, he has a good chance. So I would say yes, but he has to win this one to do that.
Yeah, it's tough. Like Herman said, if he gets this one, then that kind of changes the score. But you can see each time he gets there, it's harder and harder. And it's not like Kansas City has been blowing anybody out in these Super Bowls. I mean, it's been like the last play or the last chance. You know, these Super Bowls in Kansas City are good and competitive. And I'm concerned with their defense next year.
Why would you be concerned with defense?
I'm going to say I'm going to jump on, huh?
Why would you be concerned with defense next year when they were great this year?
Because their best defensive player is getting another year older, and it just doesn't seem like they getting anybody else that puts any pressure on the quarterback except for Jones.
Well, how old is Jones? Yeah, like he about to.
I think
Like
Jones
Jones
is knocking on 30.
Yeah,
He's up there.
Yeah,
He's 29. Yeah, I guess 29.
yeah. So I'm going to go with the side of the way the NFL goes, and I'm going to say no. I think he'll get 4, maybe 5. I think it's going to be tough for him to get the number that Brady has. So I'm going to say no. Marcus, what do you think?
You know, I'm basically a Patrick Mahomes fanboy. But I think it's impossible. I think what Brady did probably will never be matched. 7 Super Bowls, 10 Super Bowl appearances.
Yeah,
that's just wild. And we also got Brady played till he's 45?
40,
mid-40s?
yeah.
I mean,
Just gluttony.
not that many players are going to play that long. I don't. I mean, it could happen, but I don't see Patrick Mahomes playing to that long. And let's not forget that Brady went 10 years without winning the Super Bowl between the time he beat the Eagles and the next one he won against the Seahawks. I'm like a 10-year hiatus. They had been and got beaten by the Giants, but they hadn't won. But they hadn't won one in 10 years. It's just I don't know. He would not. As dominant as the Chiefs are right now, there's just no way they can keep this pace up. I mean, what they went to 6 straight AFC championships. There's no way you're going to keep going to AFC championship after AFC championship after AFC championship. You keep going to Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl.
And it's almost the same situation as the New England was, because their division was easy, and it's the same thing for the Chiefs. They don't have any threat in their division right now. Even with the Broncos or Vegas, I don't believe they're or Chargers.
They don't, but they do have a lot of competition in the division.
They do in the conference.
In the
I agree
conference.
with that. But so did the Patriots. But having that division is kind of easy to get through. It helps.
Yeah, but also, I mean, I don't know how old
Andy Reid
is, but I do believe that
he's 65.
65. I mean, is he going to keep going? I mean, and I do believe, and as great as Patrick Mahomes is, I do believe it's somewhat of a combination. Patrick Mahomes went to the right coach.
Absolutely.
He went to the right coach.
Yeah, 100%.
If Andy Reid decides to retire before Patrick Mahomes gets to that number, I mean, yeah, it might still continue. I mean, after Bill Walsh retired, what's his name? Seifert won a Super Bowl for them. But I don't know. It's hard to win a Super Bowl. And it's hard. I mean, they make it look easy because they keep going and going. But I mean, that's crazy. I just can't see anybody breaking that record anytime soon. Seven Super Bowl titles, 10 Super Bowl appearances. I just can't see it happening. And I know Patrick Mahomes is young; he's only 28. But I mean, we probably next season we probably be picking him to go Super Bowl again. But you just ain't gonna keep going back to Super Bowl to Super Bowl to Super Bowl. It's just not gonna happen. So
Marcus, you brought up a real good point too about the time frame. You figure the Chiefs are playing more games every year than the rest of the NFL.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that takes a toll.
When they get if you get the bye
because they're playing in the Super Bowl.
But that's still only one game.
It's only one game.
They're still playing at least 3 more games a year than
everybody else
make the playoffs.
Than everybody else. So I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice to see if he can try, but I just don't see anybody ever getting to 7 again. So I'm saying no.
So Mark, your squad has 6 rings. You think that he can get that or more?
I think we felt the same thing with the New England after they got there. Like, no, ain't no way it can't happen. It could very well happen. He might just be the man that can do it. He might can succeed Tom Brady and get 8. I think he can do it if he stays on this type of course that he's on now. The only question would probably be if they lose Andy Reid, would they get somebody that is could coach him the same way or keep him focused, which I think they can. I think he can, man. He's a young cat, and I mean he's doing it. He's driven by it. This has been his benchmark for succeeding. I think he can get Brady's record and pass it. So I'm gonna say yeah.
All right, so
right, 2 right, 2 wrong.
A squad divided. All right, that was some good hot topics, fellas. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's talk about these 2 playoff games that just happened last weekend. The first one we're going to talk about is the one we just finished talking about with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs victorious over the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore, 17-10. Mahomes was 30 for 39, 241 yards and a touchdown, 100.5 quarterback rating. Opposed, Lamar Jackson was 20 for 37, 272 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, quarterback rating of 75.5. Rushing leader for the Chiefs was Pacheco, 24 times for 68 yards and 1 touchdown. And Lamar was the leader for his squad, 8 rushing times for 54 yards. His longest was 21 yards. Receiving was Kelsey, who also set a record for receptions in the playoffs, 11 times for 116 yards, a touchdown. And then we talked about Zay Flowers, 5 receptions, 115 yards, and 1 touchdown. Mark, who did you pick in this game?
I took the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes was dialed in on this game with him and Travis Kelce. They, especially on that, he went you say 9 targets, 96 yards on it, and a touchdown. The Kansas City defense was the one that slammed the door on the Ravens. By halftime, they forced the second half. They forced those 2 turnovers, pretty much right in the end zone, basically taking away points from the Ravens. So that was a big deal. One of the funny stats I found in this game too was, this is the first game the Kansas City receivers did not drop a pass in all season long. That's incredible. This is the time you want to
That is incredible.
But yeah, I took the Chiefs on this one. But like you say, the defense just stood up. And you think about it, they were without Will Gay on defense, and they was out without the lineman on offense. But two of the players stepped up and played. So yeah, I took the Chiefs on this one, and they were successful.
Herman, who'd you have?
Yeah, I picked a decent one too. Like I said, we talked all year long about them wondering if they were going to make the playoffs, but I think after that first playoff game, you could see that the resilience and the will was there for them to win. Mahomes was dialed in, 30 for 39, 241 yards. He had a -1.1 QBR and a 100.5 passer rate. I mean, if you want a great quarterback in the playoffs, those are the types of numbers that you want. So I did pick the Chiefs and got it right. Flip side for Baltimore, their defense did. They did what they could. When you hold a team to 17 points, you expect your hope your offense is going to score more than that.
Especially a Kansas City Chiefs team.
Yeah, that's an accomplishment for real. You might go into a game with a goal to hold them to 17 points in the first quarter, But the offense just wasn't clicking for the Ravens, and it probably had I'm not going to put it all. It wasn't all on Lamar. There was probably a few things that combined to make that happen. But I did pick the Chiefs, and I got it right.
Hey, one other thing I wanted to make a point out about the Ravens. Didn't they only run the ball like 6 times? What was up with that?
No, 16 times.
No,
ran it
As a team.
But they only had 6 design runs from running backs.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Most of the running was from Lamar.
So a lot of that was on offensive play calling. A lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. The most rushing, he had 8 attempts. The other guys had 3, 2, and 3. That's crazy. All right, Marcus, who'd you have?
I did pick the Ravens. I was rooting for Lamar in Baltimore. But this game came down, I believe, to
Whoa. Shouldn't you be wearing a hat?
Since we didn't do no shows, ain't no wearing the hats. Okay.
The picks was in the group.
I don't care where the picks was. Since we ain't do no shows, we ain't wearing no hats.
Herman, Mark, I think we should wear our hats since Marcus don't want to wear his.
You want me to wear hats to do shows, sir? You do shows.
Continue.
So here's what I think happened in this game. During the season, the Ravens led the league in average rushes per game, 32. They the Chiefs came out there and they scored on those first 2 drives. And I think they punked and bullied the Ravens. I believe they punked and bullied the offensive coordinator Todd Monken, Todd Monken, I think his name is. Who I was all in when they hired the dude. But he just totally went away from what they do. He saw Patrick Mahomes scoring 2 touchdowns and decided he wasn't gonna run the ball anymore. He said, I'm gonna put Lamar back there as a pocket quarterback. And Kansas City defense, they pretty much shut that down. And there was no reason, as low scoring as this game was, when the halftime, they went into 14-7? No, it was 17-7 going into halftime. Why would you run this ball more? Why would you abandon what you did all season? You totally got away from who you are as a team when you didn't do any more runs. That's just crazy to me. And the mistakes by Zay Flowers, that penalty they got called, that was dumb. And I just hate that. I hate when you're losing in a game. There's no reason to celebrate unless you're winning. Especially you didn't even score a touchdown. You just gotta pass. There's no
say real quick too. There was no leadership. There was no leadership on the Ravens offense. There's no leadership.
There wasn't.
There wasn't a lot of leadership on the defense either.
The defense pretty much did their job.
Every time I turn around, I heard personal foul, 15 yards on the defense.
That's because here's the thing. Well, people, you look at Kansas City, you think they're all that, all the offense. They're a finesse team. They bullied the Ravens. They came in there and did what the Ravens do to other teams. They came in there and bullied them and made them get out of their game. And then another, Zay Flowers with the turnover in the end. Had he made that touchdown, I think the Ravens probably could have won that game. I think it was a different game. But I listened to some commentators this past week, and there's no reason for you to extend that ball. You just kept it in, and I think it would have been first down. You had first down, so you had 4 more downs to get into the end zone. There was no reason for you to extend.
No. You're not going to trash him for trying to score a touchdown and then say it's okay for Dan Campbell not to kick the field goal, okay? He was playing to win the game.
You don't need to play to win a game. You had first down. You keep the ball tucked in, and you had 4 downs to get it in the end zone.
There's no guarantee on those 4 downs.
I was going to say, and you've never seen a team get stopped at the end zone on 4 downs? Because I have.
And you don't put you don't put the ball out there unless it's 4th down, and you got to have that touchdown. Okay,
honestly, he didn't even extend the ball that much.
They get
I don't think he did either. And
He
I don't
didn't
know if
extend the ball.
It was a good hit.
Touchdown.
Yeah, it was a good punch out. It was a good punch out.
It never should have been extended.
It was an awesome defensive play.
But the team, like I said, I think they got bullied. They came in there and saw those first 2 drives by the Kansas City Chiefs and just and abandoned everything.
Does Marcus look like a ghost to y'all too?
He's blurry. Yeah,
Does he look blurry and kind of like a ghostly?
It's not your glasses. It's not your glasses.
Sir, I'm in the middle of commentary.
Okay. I'm sorry, Ghost Marcus. Go ahead.
Okay, but that's what happened in this game. Kansas City came in and bullied the hell out of the Ravens, and they forgot who they were, and that's what happened. But I picked the Ravens, and I was wrong. They let me down.
Yeah. You was the only one on this panel that was wrong because I picked Kansas City, and I'll be honest with you, I just picked them just because they were the underdog. I really thought the Ravens was going to win this game, but this particular week, I decided to pick the underdogs in both games and was almost victorious. We'll talk about the other game next. But you're right, Marcus. And Herman, you brought up a great point. There was no leadership, and that's real crazy with Harbaugh, running the Ravens. But the stupid penalties on the offense and the defense, and then the Zay Flowers play, really doomed them. And they blame him Lamar, but the whole team really didn't. I mean, even if you look at the stats, I mean, the receiving yards was all to Zay Flowers. I mean, the next one is Justice Hill, who caught 4 balls. I mean, Andrews caught 2, Likely caught 2, and normally the Ravens are throwing to the tight ends left and right. So
Lamar caught 1.
Yeah, Lamar caught 1. So Kansas City did like it, Marcus. The biggest thing is Kansas City punched the Ravens in the mouth on them first 2 drives.
They did.
And got those points and put the Ravens in a conundrum on how they were going to, play the rest of this game. I was actually shocked when they went down and scored when both drives. So they did their thing, and they're in the Super Bowl. All right, let's jump to this next game. This was the 49ers at the Lions at the 49ers. We talked about it a little bit earlier. The Lions lost by 3 points, 31-34. The stats for the quarterbacks, Jared Goff was 25 of 41 for 273 yards and a touchdown, rating of 88.8. Purdy was 20 for 31 for 267 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. His rating was 89. The positives were the running backs. Montgomery ran 15 times for 93 yards and a touchdown, and McCaffrey ran 20 times for 90 yards and 2 touchdowns. Receiving was the tight end Sam Laporta for the Lions, 9 receptions, 97 yards, and Debo, who came back from injury, had 8 receptions for 89 yards. All right. So in this particular game, let's go with Marcus. Marcus, who did you have in this one?
I picked the Lions. I did pick the Lions, and we talked about it. They lost suspect defense. That's all I gotta say. Suspect defense.
Yeah, I was with you on this one, Marcus. I also chose the Lions, and I just say suspect coaching. Yeah, a little smarter coach. I think you would be in your first Super Bowl, but now you're home. Mark, who'd you have?
To keep my Super Bowl prediction on track, I took the 49ers, and they came out with it. This is a tale of two tapes. The first half, the Lions came out. Niners dig the hole, but they worked their way out of it. I tell you what, 2 points I make about this game was the scramble by Purdy. You never see him running. He looked awkward trying to run the ball, but his mobility has not always been his strong point. That was fun to see. And an incredible catch by Brandon Ayuk off the helmet to the lines. I think that's what helped spark that comeback.
Which should have been an interception.
It should have been an interception. Yes, that was a big play, and the Niners pulled it out. But yeah, I had to keep my playoff prediction, my Super Bowl prediction intact, so I had to take the 49ers on this one.
Herman, who'd you have?
Yeah, I took the 49ers in this one too. And I think it's more what Brian said, suspect coaching than it is suspect defense. Because Marcus, Detroit's defense held the 49ers to 7 points in the first half.
Yeah.
They held them to 7 points in the first half. That's not
That's two halves.
suspect defense. It doesn't matter. I'm just telling you, they held them to 7 points in the first half.
That's two halves.
Most of the bad coaching decisions were in the second half of the game. So I did pick the 49ers though. And the one thing about the 49ers though, even though they got down, they stayed with their run game. McCaffrey had 3 carries.
McCaffrey was running like a man on a mission.
He was running. He was on a mission.
They didn't get out of their game plan. So yeah, I picked the 49ers. I didn't want to. I was hoping to win.
So
it doesn't matter. 49ers will lose to Chiefs anyway.
So I put this in the group, but Kyle Shanahan's father, Mike Shanahan, and Christian McCaffrey's father
played together.
Ed, what's his name? Ed? Yeah, the Broncos. Yeah, Ed McCaffrey took him to, So it's weird. It was weird how that, it's funny how that works out.
Yeah,
but they won their Super Bowl.
And Marcus, I was pulling for your crazy prediction of we get in a year. I'm talking about the Lions making the Super Bowl. So I wouldn't have been mad if they'd have made it either.
I was almost right. I was almost there.
Yeah, you're a bridesmaid, never a bride.
You know what? I don't like your attitude, sir.
What?
Kind of like fantasy.
I like fantasy.
You know what? All this hostilities on this, sir.
No, buddy. We just kicking reality.
All this hostility.
All right, let's go. This is it. Super Bowl. Right. This is what we've been waiting for what, 17, 18, 19, however many weeks we've been waiting. It's going to be here in 11 days. So we're going to get our predictions in today. So I guess we're not going to do a show next week.
No.
And then we'll do.
I'm doing a show next week.
Yeah.
Are you? We're going to talk about the Pro Bowl.
We'll talk about the flag football Pro Bowl game.
I'm messing with
you. We can start talking about the off season for some of us, well, for all of us, for real.
We're going to talk about Taylor Swift's first trip to the Super Bowl.
All right, the Kansas City Chiefs are the away team. The 49ers are the home team. It's going to be a good one. Again, we've seen this before. We saw it, 2 years ago, where Kansas City came out victorious. Does San Francisco have a chance in this one? We'll start off with Herman. Herman, who do you got?
Rolling with the Chiefs. I think they found their swagger. Their defense is stepped up again in the playoffs. And, a lot of times it's going to come down to those quarterbacks and coaching. And the Chiefs win on both sides of that ball. So give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, Herman, I'm with you, man. I think I'm going to roll with the Chiefs on this one. The biggest thing is the 49ers is they got to, for the Chiefs, is they have to keep Debo down and they have to keep McCaffrey down. If you can do those two things, I know Ayuk is good. I know Ayuk is bad, but Purdy will throw you a couple. I'm telling you. Purdy threw a couple to the Lions. They just didn't connect them. So you get Purdy, and Purdy gets scared. He just, ball out.
Right.
So, I'm going with Kansas City on this one. Mark, who you got?
So far, I'm riding with you guys, man. I can't all season long, man. Kansas City been finding a way to pull it out when we didn't think, against all odds, we didn't think they'd be getting here. But I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs on this one to win the Super Bowl.
All right, Marcus, it's your last chance to lone wolf. Who you going with?
Psych, get the hell out of here. You know I'm going with the Chiefs. I was one of the doubters of the Chiefs this during the season, but they've showed me that they got the heart. They still there, and like I said, they came in there and they bullied Kansas City. It seemed like it was real mean. It was real mean. I think they're gonna take that same attitude into Vegas. You can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. So I'm going with the Chiefs.
All right, so the Delayed Game crew are all in accord going with Kansas City. We're going to eat them ribs and whatever else, the little nuggies, and enjoy the Super Bowl.
I didn't really like them
Please
ribs.
don't talk about Kansas City barbecue.
I really didn't like them ribs. I really
it was
liked
all
them.
right. It was all right.
It was decent. It was all right.
Yeah.
It was okay.
It was
What was the last place we went to? That first place was
Yeah, the last place.
the last place was decent. They helped to save Kansas City's barbecue reputation.
Not really. I don't think so.
Yeah, but I mean, you have child taste buds anyway, so
You know what? I don't like you.
eggs with cheese.
Who don't eat eggs with cheese? Everybody eats eggs with cheese, sir.
You scrambled egg with cheese in a to-go box.
You know what? I don't like you.
Yeah, all right, Marcus, get us out of here. Oh wait, well, do we have any
Final thoughts?
final thoughts this week, fellas?
Yeah. So make sure you guys go in and I just did a post for the Super Bowl picks. Put your picks in so everybody knows what we picked in case they missed the show. That's fine. It's been a great year. I'll do that later. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Herman. I thank you guys for watching the shows with us again this year. It was a great year. We had a really good time. Ups and downs in all the teams, and we're finally at the end where we're excited for it, but we're also sad because we know we got to wait all the way until August to do this all over again. But such is the life as an NFL fan. Thank you again for joining us, and enjoy the Super Bowl.
Mark?
You got anything, Mark, or you good?
No, I'm good. Thank you all for checking us out and watching this.
All right, Marcus.
Well, it's been like Brian Herman said, it's been a great season. We're glad to be here, but we hate to see this time of year. But hey, at least we got the UFL in March.
No. UFL. We got the draft coming up in April.
I'm about to say
We
that.
got
We'll see y'all.
We don't do UFL shows.
We don't. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying as far as football to watch.
Oh, okay.
So, we got like I said, we got the draft in April in Detroit. I don't know if Detroit is known for barbecue.
Motor City.
No, they're known for pizza.
Eat this pizza. Yeah.
That's Chicago. That's Chicago.
No, they have their own. Detroit has their own style pizza.
Yeah, they got their
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well,
interested to see what the food's like in Detroit.
we might have to check. We might have to check that out. But yeah, before we get out of here, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You catch it on Facebook and our Facebook group, Delayed Game. We're on Twitter /X, Delayed Game 3, and on Instagram at the official Delay of Game.
Only 10 minutes late.
We will see you in 2. Hey, we're doing better than we usually do.
That's true.
We will see you in 2 weeks' time. Everyone, enjoy the Super Bowl. Peace. We out.
Super Bowl show will be a half hour.
Yeah, right. Don't even lie.
Right.
Don't even tell that.
Right.